If you've ever tried to get two people from totally different cultures to agree on something, it can be a nightmare. I mean, there's misunderstandings, weird pauses, just a lot of frustration.
Right, yeah, because they literally aren't speaking the same language.
Exactly. And, you know, in the world of professional audio and video, that exact same diplomatic crisis happens like every single day.
Oh, absolutely, all the time.
You have this brand new, super expensive, high definition camera trying to talk to an older display monitor, and they just, well, they refuse to cooperate.
Yeah, they just stare at each other.
Right. So the peacemaker in this scenario is a highly specific piece of gear. It's the AJA UDC up-down cross converter from HDTV Supply. And okay, let's unpack this, because looking at it, it's just like a little metal box that costs $915.
Yeah, a very expensive little brick.
Right. I mean, it doesn't look flashy at all, but it apparently prevents massive, expensive headaches for video professionals.
It really does. And to really understand why a metal brick commands that price tag, you have to look at what up, down, and cross actually means in a high-stakes live environment.
Okay, lay it on me.
Well, we're talking about taking video formats that fundamentally don't want to talk to each other and forcing them to cooperate. So, for example, it handles everything from, older standard definition up to modern high definition and even 3G SDI.
Which is basically a massive high-speed digital pipeline, right?
So exactly. It's used in broadcasting, and it pushes huge amounts of data, way more than older standard cables can even handle.
So it's essentially a universal translator for your video streams.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
You take an older standard definition signal and seamlessly upscale it. So that's the up part, so it doesn't look like pixelated garbage on a modern screen.
Right.
Or you take that high-res 3G signal and force it to play nice with older legacy equipment, which is the down.
Yep. And then the cross just means adapting between different high-def formats so they match up perfectly.
Got it.
And what's fascinating here is how it's doing that translation. I mean, it's not using cheap consumer-grade software to just guess at the pixels.
Oh, really?
No, the UDC relies on the exact same industry-leading conversion technology found in AJA's massive high-end FS2 model.
Wait, so it's taking the guts of a giant rack-mounted broadcast processor and squeezing it into a cost-effective mini converter.
Exactly. You get all that heavy-duty processing power without sacrificing half a server rack.
Wow. Okay, but moving past the translation engine for a second, how does this thing actually, physically bridge the gap between all the different types of gear on a set?
Well, it handles the physical connections by basically catching whatever you throw at it.
Like what?
So instead of worrying about whether your audio is embedded seamlessly into a modern HDMI cable or running through a heavy-duty SDI video line or even stripped out into an old-school analog setup, this box takes it all in. Yeah, it processes the video and then routes the audio exactly where it needs to go. Up to 16 channels on the SDI side, HDMI output with 8 channels, and even 2-channel analog.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. If I'm in the middle of a live shoot, right, and the director is screaming that the monitor feed is wrong.
The classic scenario.
Right, and I need to fix it instantly. I don't have time to blindly guess what this metal brick is doing. It doesn't have a screen. So how do you actually configure the settings when you're in a total panic?
That's a very real scenario, and it's why the UDC uses a hybrid control approach.
Hybrid how?
Well, if you are in that panicked run-and-gun situation, there are physical dip switches right on the back of the box.
Oh, okay.
You literally just flip a switch and the hardware responds instantly. But if you're, say, setting up the day before and you want granular control, you just plug it in via USB.
And use software.
Exactly. You use AJA's mini-config software on a Mac or PC to dial everything in perfectly.
That's really smart. So you get the tactile immediacy for emergencies and the software precision for the initial build.
You got it. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, how this single device interacts with a massive multi-camera studio ecosystem, we have to talk about the reference input.
Oh, yeah.
Because this little box includes an input for things called color black or tri-level sync.
Which sounds like a lot of heavy jargon.
Yeah.
How does that fit into our universal translator analogy?
So think of the reference input like giving every single translator at the UN the exact same atomic clock.
I see.
In a live broadcast, you're pulling from dozens of cameras. If camera A is even a fraction of a millisecond out of sync with display B, the viewer at home sees a glitch, or a screen tear, or just black.
Which is a nightmare.
Exactly. So a tri-level sync is essentially a highly precise metronome. The reference input locks this converter to the master clock of the entire building.
ensuring every single frame of video marches to the exact same beat,
Right.
which translates to professional broadcastability without a single dropped frame. That's huge. And for anyone sourcing this, from HDTV Supply, who, by the way, have been a staple in the AV world for like 25 years, it also ships with a universal power supply and a 5-year AJA warranty.
Yeah, it's really all about eliminating that compatibility panic during a live event.
It really is a reliable physical bridge between old and new tech, making sure your entire production speaks the same language flawlessly.
Perfectly said.
But before we let you go, I want you to ponder something about the rapid miniaturization of all this tech. If AJA can already pack the power of a massive rack-mounted broadcast processor into a tiny handheld mini converter today, how long until this level of processing power is just built invisibly into the cables themselves? Keep exploring, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.